MySQL download for Windows. If you are using some other OS like Linux distributions or Mac OS, you have to go that particular thing. So just click on this. Okay, so here you can see two options, right? So you have to click on this download, and no thanks, just start my download. Actually, you can also do this or this one. So either, instead of going to the server, I don't want this, delete this. I just need the MySQL installers. Now it is installed. So I will also share this link in the chat box. If you have a system, so you can download it now itself. Okay. So after downloading this, you have to double click on this. Okay. So step is provided. Let me check whether I have that installation steps. Give me 1 second. So let me check. Okay, see here, I have a installation step. So this is the installation steps we need to follow. Okay, after downloading this, what you have to do is just double click on that particular file. Okay, just click on install. After doing this, you can see this screen will be appeared. So you have to give accept the license. Just come down and you click on the developer default. Okay, and then next you have to choose yes, and what happened is the execution will continue. So it will check the requirements, and finally you need to click on execute once all the files have been downloaded, and product configuration will be there. So once it is done, you click on next. You can see the configure type. You need to choose as a development computer. Just click on next. See here, this is very very important. So whatever the password you are giving, that will be useful to log in. Okay, so you need to give the password which you have. So just give the password, like example, if I'm giving some name and characters and whatever it may be. So while logging into the MySQL also, it will be asking for the password. So just remember a password which you are giving. Okay, so that going to be mentioned here. So here next is you need to mention add user, and you can give the username. So everything is done. Click on next and apply configuration. So after doing this steps, it is get installed on your PC. So see here, I click on this. After this process, MySQL command line chat. So here it is asking for the password. I know my password. I can see my SQL is working. My database is working now. So now we will understand so how to create a database and table. So we'll check. So we can also use you know uh, you can also go with oracles or something. But as of now, I'm going to use MySQL. Okay, so I will go with the tool now. Or if you don't have MySQL, and you can also use the online editor. But while doing a real-time projects, we definitely need MySQL on your system. Okay, so let's see the commands, how to install, how to create a table, and how we can update the data. So let's check. Okay, so first we'll see how to create a table. So to create a tables, you need to, sorry, first we need to create a database. I'm giving a database, create database, and name is like in college Okay, it accepts the data here. The next what I need to do is I need to mention a table. So how to create a table in this MySQL. So how I can create. So for this one, creates table, and then you need to mention table, and the table name is like I'm giving college one is my table name. So inside that I need to mention what are the things I'm going to give. Example, let me tell you some examples here. I have, so there are so many different commands we have. So first we will see with the basic commands how we can run the table. So first we have created a table, right? So now I'm going to give some value. So this is my employee ID. So this is in what type? So it is in a integer type. So I'm mentioning it as a int, and I'm going to set this to be a primary key. So this and all we'll see later. As of now, I have created the employee ID, and I have created the employee name, the employee name and city and admission date. Okay, just I'll copy this. Okay, so before using this, we just check what are the databases we have. So I have this number of listed of database. I have a college. So for college, to use this, you need to use this command, use and then college. After doing this, a database has changed. So I'm creating a table inside this. Yes, it is accepted. So now I need to put some details, right? So how I can put a details? Example. So first you need to mention insert data. So insert into a value. So what are the values you are going to mention? So for example, I'm going to give some insert some value here, like so the employee integer is there. So for that, what I have to do, so I need to mention some value in that integer. If I go with some string, so what happened? So I need to go with the string value there, right? So this is what you will be creating. So let's see a simple example. Insert into the table name. What is the table name we have? Employee. Just give the values for the columns. I'm giving a column values to be 1, and then I'm just using, it's going to be a text. So I'm just giving this to be 1, and comma, giving some name for the employee name, Anusha, comma, and I need the city. I'm just giving Andhra Pradesh, comma, and the admission date I'm giving like 2022. I'll just give 20. It is a date, right? So I have to mention like this 14. Or better, I'll remove this. I don't want to make it more complicated. Okay, I'll try this one. So I can mention like this: year, hyphen, month is a like something, and date as it is accepted. So now, uh, so if I select this particular table, you can see the values it has been inserted. Like this, you can insert a number of values. So we need to I'm changing the name. So if you again check the value, so see here some two data has been inserted. So like this, you will be creating a table. So now we will understand what are the different commands we have. Okay. So what is database first? So first we'll see that what is database and how we can use a database and what are the different ways to have handling a database. So first thing is database. Why we are going for this particular MySQL? So MySQL is a world's most popular database. This is open source and free. Okay, so the MySQL was acquired by Oracle. So now it has been acquired by the Oracle as a part of Sun Microsystem in 2009, and it is important pillar for LAMP application. So if you see LAMP application, go and check. So you can so Linux, Apache, MySQL, or PHP, Perl, Python. So for this, if you are going to create application using this, you can go with the this MySQL. Okay, and also in a cross platform also it will work for Windows, Linux, Mac OS. So for this OS also it will be working fine. And this is used to manage the relational database. Okay. So why it is so popular? So we already discussed what is the main important things why we are going for this MySQLs, and will and also I'll give you some brief intro about database. Suppose this. What is database management? First of all, so database is again it is a collections of related data. Okay. What is DBMS? It is nothing but interrelated. If I have one table, okay, so I'm going to get the data of that particular table, that is called as a database. If I am going to have some two tables or three tables, four tables, I'm going to interconnect all these datas. Okay, so example, data and set of program to store and access those data in an easy and effective manner. So that is called as a DBMS. So why do we use database? What is the main use? If you see, it can store a very large number of records effectively, and also we can use easily, find the informations, and you can add new data, and you can delete it, and you can sort it. So like this, we have a multiple things. For that purpose, we are using this. Why do we need a database? So we know what is the use of database. Why do we need a database for real time purpose? See here, it actually manages large amount of data. We can also use it in a spreadsheet and Excel. So we have so many things, right? But why especially we are going for this database? So this is actually store a large amount of data that is not supported in a spreadsheet. And it's also accurate, and it is easy to update the data, and the security is very very good in this database. And database integrity is we can give so many constraints. So using that constraint we can filter the data. Okay, And what is DBMS now? So as of now, we understood what is database and how it is working. So now we will see what is DBMS. See here, DBMS, it is nothing but database management system. Actually, this is software. Okay, this software used to manage the database. Okay, so see here, this is working. It provides the interface to perform the various operations. So it is working as an interface. It is an interface now. What it will do is it will create a database. It will use to store the database, and it will update the database and create the tables and so on. So what are the applications we have? So MySQL and Oracle, these are the commercial database in many applications. Okay. So DBMS, allows the users following tasks. So what they can do is using that DBMS software, what we can do? We can have a data definition, we can create, we can modify, we can remove the organization data. So for example, we can take it a real-time example. uh, if you are going to work for your company, that is for your organization, and they are giving some organizational data to you, and they are asking you to create and modify, remove the data. Yes, you can do it using this database. Okay. And a database updation, you can also insert if some employee is getting into that organization and they are going out of that organization. So this can be handled by DBMS. Data retrievers. So if say example, that organization in that their annual day, like example the annual date, like, so they are completed their project. Okay, they want to retrieve all the entire data. Okay, they are trying to get all the entire data which what they have done, and everything we can retrieve it easily using this DBMS. And what is user administration? So you can you have come through this word administrations. So what they are doing, so you can use to register and monitor the user. So what the if example, I can tell you some real time example. So I'm a employee of Edinet Foundation. So what Edinet Foundation will look at me. So will the employee, did the employee is working or not? They can check it through the monitoring. Okay, so that can be done using a DBMS and maintain. So they can also check accurate data. So how many session was handled by this particular employee. So that is called as a data integrity. That can also be done. Data security. So these are all the important things. If something, for example, some unexpected failures, example, we can take some flood or some earthquake, whatever it may be, it was happened. And if you see the information just got missed, we can still retrieve the information at that point. Okay. So what are the characteristics of DBMS? Okay, why? What are the different characteristics? See here, we can uh, clear or provide a logical view of a manipulated data. So automatic backup will be there. So using the asset property, which maintain the data in a healthy in case of a failure. Okay. So advantages, again the same thing, it is repeated. And disadvantages is, see here, the cost of hardware is very high. If you want to use hardware and software of DBMS, then you need high speed data processor and large memory to run the DBMS. The size also, it is very big thing in complexity, but it's a higher impact of failure. uh, it impacts a database in all the organization. So electric failure, like that. Okay. So what is applications? What are the applications we are using a data a DBMS? So first is telecommunication. To go with the telecommunication, so calls made and the network usages, customer details, etc. So these keep updating every milliseconds. in the telecommunication thing I say. Okay. So when you come to the industries, example, it may be manufacturing or warehousing. So warehousing means the goods, it will be in some places, right? That warehousing and distribution center. So every databases will be handled smoothly. You can see banking statement, storing the customers' information. So how the credit and debit transaction is handled. So these is handled by these DBMS. And what is sales? In sales also, if you see, uh, for example, I can take real time. So if I'm working in Edinet, right? So here I want my salary. So, okay. So once completing my month, I will be getting a salary. So I no directly we can generate things to get daily that is monthly pay slip automatically. So that can also be analyzed using this DBMS and airlines, education, and online shoppings. So these are the some applications we are using here. Okay. So when we go to RDBMS, so what is called as RDBMS? So relational models, but it stores a data in a tabular format. Example, so we have something called as Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft and Oracle, MySQL. These are all the examples for RDBMS. So what are the terminologies we should understand? So see here, table. It creates a table, columns and rows. Column. What is called as relation? So relation is it create a relationship between that is database relation in the form of table. So there are some 5 tables I have, and I'm going to relate it off. Okay. And what is called tuples? Tuples is a single row of table. So if I have a tables, I have multiple rows, right? So that particular, I'll take column one, column two, column three. So the column one is a tuple, the column two is a tuple, and column three is a tuple. Okay. And attribute is the values which you are giving. So now we'll understand what is degree and cardinality and domain. Okay, let's check with this website. Okay, so this is called as a degree. So degree is nothing but, so we can take it like this. That is one on one or one to many. Okay, so number of occurrence in one entity with a number of occurrence in the another entity. Okay, so this is will be a one-on-one is associated and assigned to this example. See here, if an employee is allocated to a company, then the car can only be driven by that employee. Okay, so that is called as a one-on-one relationship. So one to many. For example, an employee works in one department, but a department has many employees, right? This is called one to many relationship. You see, many to many is nothing but a many occurrence in entity. For example, the same time, an employee can work on several projects. A project has a team of many employees, right? So this is called as a degree. And next is cardinality. So this refers to the unique column in the table. So let's check what it is. So see here. So this refers to the unique of data value that is contained in a column. In one column, so what is the exact data value we have? So high cardinality is nothing but you can see the column contains a large percentage of total unique value. So here it will repeats values. So see here this mapping cardinality. So before we have just checked with the entity, but now we are going to check with the value. So how the values come. So see here, in this example, so one department has one head of that is HOD, right? So each department will have only one HOD. We have mentioned. So one to many is, see here, um, So we'll go with the example itself. One department has a many faculties, right? This to many to one. So here the example is faculties work in one department. So these are some, you should know when you're working. When you're going for an interview for a database, management, then you should understand what is the concept is all about. So these are the some important things you should know. So this is many to many relationship in the mapping cardinality. So many employees work on many projects. So now we will see what is domain. So domain, it is nothing but it is a unique set of value permitted for the attribute in a table. Let's check what it is. Okay. So now we are going to see about a domain, right? So what is domain? So in this domain we have some different things. Okay. So I'll tell you what it is. See here. So first one is we will see about the primary key. Okay, what is primary key? So primary key. So this is a referral website I can suggest you for everyone. So in this example, if you see, you want to store a student data in a table. Okay, that student. So attribute IDs I have is student ID, student name, age, and address. I have different values here, right? So if I set one or more attributes to the unique identity record, so that is called as a primary key. So here I have many values. So example, I have minimal, I have unique and not null. If I mark primary key as a not null, then it is not allowed to have a null value. So it will not allow a null value. So in this database, you can see some examples. Here, this is what it has defined. So like this, we have mentioned examples for this primary key. Just you can go through this. It is very simple. And now, what is database schema and schema design? How it works? The schema is actually a skeleton structure that represents a logical view of entire database. If I have a database of my organization or a banking or industry, whatever it may be, that schema will help me to understand the logical view of a database. What's going on? I can see that. Okay. And it formulates all the constraints. And if you see physical and logical, so physical is a file storage, it will be stored in the secondary storage, but logical is defines the tables view integrity. And so type of rdbms keys, what are the different rdbms keys we have? I just give the link. Okay, you can also make a use of it. So here what is foreign key and what is surrogate, what is alternate, primary, composite, candidate, and super key. We'll check one by one. So if you see this foreign key, so it creates a link between the tables. Okay. So, but what is the special things we have? So see here, I have employee table and I have a department table. So if you see the two tables, in this employee ID, it works as a primary key. But when you go to an employee department, the employee ID is work like a foreign key. So it is checking. So foreign key is nothing but the employee table is a in that will having some different things. So this is called as a, if I have a primary key here and the foreign key here. The department table, this is a department table. Here this is a primary key and here it is called as a foreign key. And what is surrogate key? So if you see surrogate key is I have two tables. Okay. So like have school A as my table and school B as my table. Okay. So if you see here, there is no matching values, right? So see here, I have a registration number, name, and percentage, but everything is different. So now what happened is, suppose if I want to merge a details of both the schools in a single table, so it will be like this. So here I will be creating a surrogate number as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is called as a surrogate key. And what is called as a alternate key? Okay, in alternate key, if you go, actually this is working as a secondary key, okay, that has not been selected to the primary key. So example, if you see this table, so here I have student id, student enroll, student name, student employee ID. Okay, so these are all called as a candidate keys. Okay, so can uniquely identify the student records, right? So rest of the two keys should be a alternative, that is secondary key. So here ID and enrollment and email, it is considered as a candidate key. The student ID as a primary key here, and enroll and email will be the alternate key. Okay. So now we will jump into this coding. So we need to understand some different commands we have. So first we will go with the DCL command, database control command. So one second, sorry, DTL command. So we know how to create a table. So if I want to add something column data type inside that also, it is possible. So see here, so this is a command line. So alter, and you need to give a table and table name. If you're going to add something, if you're going to add some column data type, then you can mention like this. See here, add an employee contact you are going to add, then you have to mention like this. So you go with this command. I'm going to use alter keyword, and then table. What is the table name? I have generated employee, and then I'm going to add some value here, right? So employee, I need some employee contact. It's going to be integer, not. So here you can see records 2 has been added inside this. So here I will be getting one more column. Okay, if I want to modify the data, so that can also be possible. Okay, so now we will select and check what's inside that. Sorry. So here you can see one more column has been added here. And if you want to drop that column, so I don't have any details, so just want to delete it, alter table, and you need to mention the table name. The table name is EMP, and you can also give the name which you are going to delete. So giving employee contact. So now if you again check this, it has been deleted. Okay, so these are the data definition thing. So and also if you want to drop some table also, that can also be possible. So I don't want this table to be continued. So I want to delete this table. Just give drop. give drop and table name. So I want to delete the table. I'll create one more table here. Take the same thing and just delete this. I change this to employee instead of writing it. Okay, so now I'm trying to drop a table. So select star from table name is employee one. You can see the employee, but it is empty, right? I've not added any value, but I don't want this table. So drop table, and what's the table name? Employee one. Just if you give this, it is get deleted. Okay. If you want to delete all the rows and tables, you need to use a truncate. Okay. If you want to add some commands within this, you can also do that. For example, uh, you can use like this. For this, I'll give you select start from employee. So still it is not showing any error, right? So it is accepting it as a value. So now again, what I will do is I'm just going to have some important information. Like first, I will use the table name I've created. Show databases. I'm using college, right? So just use databases. College. Okay. So now what I will do is I'm going to fetch the exact details. So first I will check what is inside the table. So select star from what is the table name employee, I think. Yes. So now I need to fetch the information about Devi. Okay. So what I will do is select from what is the table name? It is employee. I'm going to give so where give employee city. I need employee name is equals to okay. So I need her information. There's an error. So I have used it. Okay, I'm sorry. So now I can see only the no Anusha details. So if you want to rename the table, that is also possible. Okay, what you have to do? So you have to mention alter and table, and I'm giving the table name as employee and rename to EduNet employee. So now if I select start from employee, so I cannot see any details. If I go with select star from EduNet employee, I can see the details. So this is all about a DDL comments. So now we will go with the DML comments. So what are the DML comments we need to check? So already we know how to insert the values. So again, so how we can create a table? So that is already we know. So this is like this is what we will be getting. So these and all data manipulation. Okay. So how to update the value? So we'll see this. Give me 1 minute. Okay. So now we'll move on to the DVML. Okay, DVML. You see, we already discussed about insert into values. So the table name and the values, and now we'll understand so how to update the values. For example, I have just see here. This is my table name, and next is I'm setting the column. So first, what is the column name, and what is the value you're going to set for which condition you're going to check. So so here what I will do is I'm going to update. Okay, what's a table name which I'm going to give here? So what is the table name which I have here? The table name is edu net employee, right? So I'm going to set some value for that table. So I need to update it for the column employee city. Okay. And I'm going to update the value. So it is a string value, right? So I will mention it in the double quotes. So what I will update is Texas. Okay. And so where, for which person you're going to change? For the employee name, Anusha. Now we will go and check the value. So you can see the value has been updated as a Texas. So like this you will be doing. So you need to give update and the table name, and you need to mention set, and then what is the city name, and where the employee name is going to be a value of Anusha here, and what is called as delete. So what if I just want to remove some condition or the value from that particular thing, then I will go with the delete. Okay. So if I don't want, a student Patapaglu Devi, then what I will do? I will go here and give delete from the EduNet employee, and which one I need to delete. So you need to mention that. If I want to remove this name, employee name, gonna be Devi. Change this to Anusha. Okay. So now if you go and check, you can see only Patapaglu Devi details is disappeared. So appearing here. So this is all about BFL comments. So how we can update the value, how we can delete the values. So these information. So now we will check with the. So now we will check with the DCL commands and transaction command. Okay, some transaction commands. So we go to DCL. So TCL is nothing but if you're going to give a privilege for any particular user, then you'll be giving like this example. What privilege you're going to give for a table. So, for example, I'm going to give a privilege for select and update on employees to which person, to which user I'm going to give. So, like that, we'll be creating. Okay. Um, so let's create one more table. So database. Go and check, so you can see the user is listed. So now what I will do is I'm giving an access grant for select. Just want to grant it for select on. I need to mention the what is the object name. Okay, so object name is our table name. I will go with the table name. So instead of that, I will use same file which I have database college. Okay. So here itself I will do. So I'm just going to grant a select alone on the table name edunet employee, right? So this is a table name to the user. So to which user you're going to give. Example to whom you're going to grant. So that name you need to mention. Sorry. So first Going to give it to yeah, I'll explain you this once again. Give me some minute. Okay. So I'll tell you what is revoke. So revoke is also after giving on a grant, you will be taking this to be a revoke. So now we'll understand so how to connect MySQL with this one with the Java. So we'll see one simple example here. Okay, I'll just go with the Java coding. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the database. Okay. So here I have MySQL coding. Okay. And using this, I'm just going to connect it here. So how we will be connecting? So let's see. To do this, first you need to have a data source. Okay. So to create this data source, you need to choose one option. So Windows, perspective. Here you need to choose others. Here you will be having a database deployment. Just click on this. You will be getting a data source. Okay. So after doing this, so here you can see a JDBC, right? So in this I've created one file, check.java. So this is my Java file. This is a package I have imported SQL. So here I'm going to make a connection, right? So I have given a connection and the variable name is a connection. I have given null. So now if it throws some error, it will be, I'm going to use a try keyword. Okay. So after this, you need to install this particular jar file on your library. So we go and check. You need to add it here in the reference. So first I will run the code, so how you need to execute. Then I will tell you the steps how we need to continue. Okay. So here, just come down. So the first thing is you need to use this driver. You need to install it here. So here you can see JDBC, MySQL localhost. So what is your database name? So that database name you should mention here. As of now, I have change the name. Okay, this is a file we need to add. Okay, in this example, you can see it has been connected. So in this, you can see the database and schema. What are the authorization IDs we have? So in this particular place, I'm using this database. Okay, so I've mentioned this database name. So what is here? If you have changed the name of root, you need to mention that. Otherwise, you can mention root itself. Okay, and what is the password? So this is the password I've set. If you come down, so select start from person. So I have some tables inside this database name. Okay. In the database name, I have some person ID. So I'll show you. Uh, show. So here, what happened is, I'm just checking the databases as I can see multiple database name. So now I will choose that particular database which I'm going to use. Okay. So next thing is I will check what is the table I have inside this. I have some. I have some details like this. Okay, like last name, first name, address, and city. Okay, I've mentioned all these details. So what happened is this is integer and the last name and everything I have mentioned. So here also you need to change the person ID and the last name. If you have changed some other detail, that you have to mention it here. Okay, just come down. Okay, if I run this file, you can see all the entire details is being displayed. Whatever here, it is displaying here. Okay. So for this, you need some connectivity that you should understand. Okay. So first, I will go with this. See here, we can take one more database. Uh, College. See some details, right? So now here you need to change all the details which you have mentioned. What is the database name? This college. The same thing. And now I'm going to select an EduNet employee. Come down. Here you need to list what are the things here. I'm just changing this to be employee. It is employee. So we don't want this city email. So next, that's good. Okay. Now we'll run this file. So see here what databases it is showing. So these information is showing here. Okay. So you can also change the name which you want to enter here. Okay. So this is how the database is working. So how we can connect a database with this. So I'll tell you the steps how to connect with this. Give me 1 minute.